Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh.
oh, do I have to approve this in recording?
You better approve it. If
Okay,
you don't approve it,
okay.
who will?
That's in progress. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do
Mm-hmm.
like this? Hold on. I think I can. Yeah, I think I can do that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I like this setup. I think it's
I
gonna work for now. I
I
mean,
think so too. Oh, you know what? Let's just record.
oh, all right.
Let's
I'll just count
just
us down.
garage this thing
Here we
and
go.
go from there.
You're a little blowouty on my ears, but that might be
Oh
my
no.
volume.
Turn your volume down on the front of your thing.
Okay.
You can
Down. Okay, say again.
yeah, oh, I probably should talk the whole time you're messing with the
Oh, that's too
knobberoonies.
loud. Okay, hold on.
Are you what are you doing? What are you doing? On the
I'm listening to you.
on the front of your microphone you can
Yeah, there's a
turn.
volume thing. That's what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
turning.
All right. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
keep talking. I'll tell you a story about a little engine who could.
It's lame-o. Lame-o tale. Not quite as lame-o
Okay.
as. All right, we're signed in and recording here. Shall I count us? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
you
count.
should do that. You should do
Okay.
that.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Make sure I'm okay on my
Okay.
levels here. I'm looking good. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Look at it.
Oh, maybe I
All right.
should break it. 5, 4, 3, 2. And if I could spin around on my ankle or my elbow, I'd go 1.
Did you
Does
hit
that work?
record
I did
when
when I
you
said
said one?
1.
Okay, good. I'm
I mean, I
blown
guess
out of my end. Hold on, I got to turn
break
down my
dancer from my
recording
seat.
volume.
Oh, I think my volume's looking good. Yeah. It's actually a
Good.
little low, but
Well, I
I'm not,
mean,
I mean,
come on. What do you want?
I'm getting as close as I can. There we go.
Your
Okay.
volume's low? Your record volume is low?
I think it'll be okay though.
Okay.
I tested it before because you
Uh,
gave me ample time to hang
Oh,
out.
no, good. Yes,
So I
that was the
tested
whole
it.
reason. I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? Jamie needs time. Not that my laptop can't charge.
I still didn't, I know. Remember to charge your laptop before recording,
Well,
buddy.
if
But,
I had
it's
a
the one
normal
device you
laptop
need.
charger,
Well, that's no fault of mine. It's not like I stole it from you. You left it here, and I have
oh,
no use for it. What am I
and
doing with a
it's just
charger?
in the void.
Hmm.
Okay.
Maybe the bat flew off with it.
There's a good chance that the
Yeah.
bat flew off with it. So I had to borrow Jocelyn's again.
Oh, you did. Okay. Well, at least
Yeah,
you've got some handy
I did order
backups.
one because eventually she will have to go to college and she will
She'll
need
need
a
that back.
charger for her laptop. So,
All right. Well, new laptop
oh,
charger to do.
so you're upstairs. What are you in that murder room?
No, I wouldn't describe it as a murder room. It's
Well,
our
what I mean
guest
is there
room.
was just like this room that was all the way at the top, and you were
Oh, no,
you
no,
were
no, no,
like,
no,
"What
no.
do I do with this room?" Because I was gonna come on, I was gonna be like, "Jamie, here's what we should do. You should get your hands on some, I don't know, tapestries.
Yeah,
Hippies love those.
I
Those
do.
are
Yeah.
noise dampening." And I was
Yeah.
like, "We could go and
We could set up the whole upstairs.
yeah." I was like, "I don't know if
Yes.
you can paint. Are you allowed to paint?
I
What are you
mean,
not allowed to do there?"
I'm allowed to do whatever I want. No, I don't know. I
Nice.
don't know if
Okay.
we would paint, but I think the tapestry kind of negates the
I think
paint.
it would
Like,
be beautiful.
yeah.
I mean, it would be
Be beautiful.
freezing cold in the
And you're
winter.
talking about upstairs, but we can bundle up. We could layer
I'm all about that. And I will
hmm
record naked in the summer.
because it'll be a little schvelty, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think our listeners would appreciate,
I
especially
think
now that there's a video component that
I
they
think
can
they
watch.
I think they would love it.
Great idea. I'll get right on that. I'll order some tapestries
Doing weird stuff with the
from
camera. Hold on.
hippiestuff.com.
Oh shit.
Oh man, what are you doing?
Hippiestuff.com.
That's where I buy all my
That's a store
supplies.
you should open. You should make that store.
Make sure you just
Uh,
like you look like you're giving me a hug. Come on in. Okay.
this is
Okay.
great for our audio listeners. I guess audio listeners is repetitive, redundant. Okay, what do we do on this podcast? What are we doing
Oh
here?
man, how do we
Oh,
get here? How did we even
I,
get here?
you know
That's
how
what
we
I
got,
asked myself a lot while I was watching this movie. I was like, how did we
you know
get?
how
Why
we
are we
got,
still here? Why are we still doing
how we
this?
got here is I was like, let's go back to our regular format, which is random nonsense and me frantically trying to figure out how to connect a movie to a certain holiday.
Well, and true. Also, I think that we have a decent history of
Hmm.
enjoying a breakdance movie here and there. We've had some in our past that have been pleasant surprises, right?
I've enjoyed a Breakin'. I've
Hmm.
enjoyed a Breakin' 2.
Correct.
We enjoyed Crush Groove because the Fat Boys were in it for
Oh
some
yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah.
We a rapping.
Rapping is our jamming. Hmm.
I don't. I it took everything in me to not text you throughout. Jamie, I was halfway through
I
this movie
was.
and I was like, should I tell Jamie there might not be an actual plot to this movie that we're watching? It took forever for anything of consequence to happen. And when it did, anytime there was maybe the threat of something significant happening, it was like, no, 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 everything's fine.
They
And then at the
dabbled some
end, I was like,
stuff in
what the
there.
hell are you doing? Why are
I
you
know. There's
ham
a
fisting a
baby.
death in at the
There's
end
a
of this?
young. Yeah, exactly. Then we have some a murder essentially that happens, or an accidental murder, right?
Yeah,
Between two taggers. Who knew the tagging and the breakdancing world were so dangerous.
I had no idea.
And there's lots of like trauma that kind of gets brought up, like he lost his brother to like gang violence, and then there's a young dad that's like a
I thought he
single.
was talking about his dad when he
No, I
said
think
that
that
he
was his brother because his mom mentions earlier, I can't lose another one of my babies, another one of my sons.
his mom is far too old. I'm sorry. Now I don't know how old his
She
brother
kicks
was.
ass. She kicks ass. Well, confusing, right? Because he seems to be sneaking into these places, but then, um,
Oh, I meant his older brother who
oh,
perished. Like how old should that kid have been?
oh,
Like in his
gosh.
mid 30s? That would make sense for this woman's age.
Roman, and you think she had the other two? Maybe another tie that they didn't get into is these are actually the older brother's kids, is the brothers, and the mother's raising
Ooh,
them. That's another layer that we didn't
I
deep
would have
into.
liked that. I
Mm-hmm.
would have liked
Mm-hmm.
that.
You
Like,
might have.
like I'm busy taking care of my mother and my nephew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That would have, I'm not saying answered questions for me. I'm not even saying would have made any sense at all, but I kind of would have liked something
You
in this
wanted it.
movie.
You wanted it. Well, you got a lot of little treats. You got a lot. Let's get into it.
Did I?
Let's
Did
get
I?
into it.
Hey, I
Let's,
do want to tell you this because
yeah.
this is also creating a problem. My battery is now going down as we're recording.
Goodness.
It's at 20%. It was only at 21 when we started recording.
Okay.
Um,
But you're plugged in. It's just can't
I'm
handle
plugged
all
in.
of the stuff.
It can't handle it. Like it's
Hmm.
not a, I don't know. I don't know.
I get it.
I give up.
It's your work
But we should
laptop, isn't it?
probably. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear
I
the
don't. I
stomping?
don't. I don't.
You don't hear
Mm-mm.
the insane children that I have living
Is
with
this
me?
all a ploy of some kind? My battery's dying. They're stomping above me. They're coming for me.
It's a ploy
What's
to not
happening?
talk about this movie.
Maybe,
Is
maybe
that
you're
where we're
like, let's just
going?
wrap it up. My battery's low and an army's after me. So let's just say this movie
The,
was not great. And it
the
was,
army's after me.
oh man.
You really don't hear that?
The
It's
stomps?
so loud.
No, what are they
I
doing?
don't know
Maybe
what
they're
they're
working on a
doing.
routine. They're dancers up there. Maybe they're
God.
stomping it out.
All right, should we start? I'll start this.
Yeah, you
I think
do
I
it.
start us.
I think you do.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
Yep.
to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. We are an 80s movie podcast where every other week we watch a different movie from the 80s and then we talk about it. I'm one
Yep.
of your two hosts. My name is Doug McCambridge. And with me, as always, in just like a funky hat and I don't know, a tracksuit. Is that what you're wearing, Jamie?
Well,
Color
one
coordinated
team wore a
tracksuit?
tracksuit. The other team had like a coordinated vest effort, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say, like, coordinated Adidas tracksuits versus blue sweatpants. I don't even think there's a question as to who looked sharper in that
I
dance.
appreciate all the levels of comfort. That's
Hmm.
what I like because there were some moves. That one dance battle DB that we
I,
got to watch
yeah.
where
When
they
the,
were in the club.
yeah, in the
Uh,
club, were you about to say? Okay.
they, wow. Yeah,
Oh, they were doing it. They were
they were
totally doing it.
making moves. I feel
Hmm.
like too. I think a bunch of times in this movie, it was just like talent show for all those that came out to audition for this movie,
Oh
here's a
yeah.
little talent show section for you guys. We'll keep it in because really we don't have much of a movie otherwise. What's happening there? Your microphone's acting out?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm blowing out and I don't know what it is.
I told you you
I have my
sound
thing.
bloated. I told
No,
you that.
well,
And I
you know
lowered
what?
my
That's something
volume a bit.
I'll take care of on my own. Wait,
All
maybe my
right.
gain is, dude, my gain was
Oh man,
totally
your
up.
gain was
It
totally
it
messing.
was so gained out. Am I
That's
better now?
okay.
Do I sound better
You
now?
sound 100% better. Am I
Wow.
gainy? I'm okay, huh? My gain's
You're
okay.
fine. You're
Now I'm
good.
all
Yeah.
gain sensitive.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's what they call it
Mm-hmm.
in the biz.
Sure.
Yeah, this
Go ahead.
was this, would you, I
No.
mean, I would classify this as a movie in that
No.
it ran for a
Loosely.
certain period of time and it was filmed,
Mm.
but I don't understand. Like, how is this a movie? How is this anything?
That's
There
a
are long stretches where I'm like, well, I don't, there's no plot development. I don't know these characters outside of what they do
I don't really
because
know
that's,
any of their names. Is one of their names
go ahead. I have all their names.
oh you do.
Well, by all their names are,
Hamon? Is one of their names Hamon?
no, wait, what? No, Ramon. Ram, I mean, if you're trying some sort of Hispanic accent, first of all, that's insulting. But second of all, it's not great. No, his name is Ramon, and he is the tagger. He is the
Yeah,
art.
Ramo. Ramo is the tagger. I didn't realize it was short
Oh,
for
sorry, I
Ramon.
put an N at the end because Ramon is a name, Ramo isn't.
Oh my God, the end of my notes came so quickly. Ramon. I don't mean to give too much away, but R.I.P. All right.
R.I.P. No, there's Kenny. Kenny's the main guy.
Which would make him the DJ guy?
Yes, the DJ
Okay.
guy. Yes,
Okay.
Tracy. Rae Dawn Chong is Tracy in
Okay.
this. And then there is Ramo. And then there is Charlie. Charlie
Not
is
Charlie,
not,
Charlie.
no, no, none of these are normal names, except I guess Kenny and Tracy, which Kenny and Tracy for those two.
It doesn't.
I buy Ramo and Charlie way more than
Same.
Kenny and
Same.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Charlie's the little brother,
No, Charlie is the guy who's, what is he, their
like the
manager?
business guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
walks around with a briefcase, which means he means business. He
Yeah.
also has ties on a lot.
He does.
They're
He
very
does. And he's
skinny
always the
ties.
one that's organizing their
Yes.
events
Yes.
and
Yeah.
knows of them. Yeah.
Lee is the little brother.
Oh, that's right. Lee's
Hmm.
got to always tag
Yeah.
along. Lee's tagging along.
And then I didn't write down the entire cast because there's too many people and also most people don't do anything. I mean, I don't want to say don't do anything. They dance a hell of a lot better than I ever could. But and then I wrote down Sandra Santiago plays Carmen.
Is Carmen his girlfriend?
Yes,
Ramon's girlfriend?
yes. And Jamie, I gotta tell
Have we
you,
seen her?
no, we have not seen her. We have only seen Rae Dawn Chong. She's the only member of
Oh,
this that we've seen before in Soul Man, Fear City, and Commando.
she's all over us then in the 80s, I suppose.
But you know how everybody has little pictures on IMDb?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, this movie, I think this is the first movie I've watched on Prime where, you know how normally you pause it and it gives you pictures of the people and their names?
Yeah.
This didn't do that
Did
ever.
it give you like an I don't know emoji? Like, I don't know who these people are.
I think there were just too many people on camera all the time. They're like,
Oh, yeah, to
there's
really
no way
sort
we can do
through.
this.
Yeah.
But I looked at her IMDb and she was holding an award and it looked like
Oh.
it was a relatively recent picture. She is big in the soap opera scene
Like that
and
totally tracks for her
yes,
performance here.
yes,
Yes.
and has won multiple daytime Emmy awards. So
Good
good
for
for her.
her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hmm.
She's the big, I guess, success story at
It
this point. I mean,
totally
Rae Dawn Chong
tracks.
is somebody, but yeah.
She is somebody, but she's doing not a whole lot in this.
She's not doing a whole lot, but she's trying to give emotion. She's trying to emote in a movie where no one's really trying to do anything but
Dance.
dance,
Yeah. And rap a
sing,
little, but
rap
this
a
is not the
little.
best rap that
Oh
I've
no,
we've
no,
encountered
you
in
don't
our
think so?
movies. No.
No, it's not even close to the. I was I was shocked because first of all, why is this movie as long as it is?
Why? Because of all the dance sequences. Because there's, like I said, there's at least three talent shows for the extras that are filmed
Hmm.
that we have to experience. And the first one, the first two, I'm like, oh, it's one of these little treats here now where we get a little dance battle. Oh, it's one of these
Yes.
little treats here where we're gonna be at the we're just gonna see like I don't know. I wasn't a in the club scene in the 80s so much, but if
No,
it
we were
looked like this,
children, Jamie. We
if
were
it looked
far too
like this,
young.
abandoned buildings and
Abandoned. Okay, can I just pitch possibly, we do this from time to time, a
yeah,
better, more concise movie for
give
you?
it to me.
Because they do it in this movie, but it is near the end of the movie and it means nothing. If it was just these guys renovating that abandoned building
Oh yeah.
into apartments and wanting to live there or turn it into a club, I'd be all about it. Like I don't need any of the rest of this movie. You could have done that could be the entire movie and I
Sure.
would have been more okay with it than this
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't know who these characters are. I don't know their relationship. Ramo has a father that we see twice in this movie.
Twice, one,
And
three times, the third time when he's grieving.
oh, when he looks at a picture of his
Yeah.
son's artwork and
Yeah.
it's just stoned face. There's
Hmm.
nothing. I was ready. I was like, a single tear. Ramos' father, please. Just nope, nothing. Let's cut away from that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. You can't muster it up.
It takes us 20 minutes to meet Rae Dawn Chong in this movie, where
Yeah.
for the long, like, I assume it was the movie saying to me, Doug, no, 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 you're watching the right movie. Like, it went that long, and I was like, I don't think this is the right movie.
Where is she? Where is she?
And
No,
at
you
the,
definitely know it's the right movie. The opening
wow.
song for the opening credits is
Oh, yeah,
titular. It
you're right.
sings beach. It's beating the words Beach Street into my head
It's awesome.
repeatedly.
I really loved the opening song. Like the titular song at the beginning
Beach
is
Street.
great.
Yeah.
And then every now and then they would show you that like illustrated logo.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
not just they showed you the name Beach Street once. No, they would it was interspersed with video and still photos
Yeah,
and
because
the
I think you
title.
were meant, I think, but there were so many different characters. You were kind of meeting the characters through the stills, right? You were kind of getting to know them, but there was more than them
There was
that
more
you were
than them
seeing. So
because
it was
some
like,
of it was like, was it just, did they have an assistant director go around and just shoot the Bronx and
yep.
just use that for the opening credits?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, then it would have goofy, like still photos of the cast, like smiling and tilting
Mm-hmm.
their head to the
Mm-hmm.
side. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
guess these people are important.
Yeah, I guess we're getting to meet them through the credits is what I thought.
Yes.
Um, um, and
Oh,
then
did you
we,
see right at the beginning, presented by Harry Belafonte?
oh, I didn't see
The
that.
first,
Thank
the
you for the
first, the
presentation.
first bit of text that came up. I kept waiting for one of his songs or him to show up.
Maybe he's a fan of the breakdancing.
Maybe.
Who
Apparently,
knew
his daughter is in this, which is the closest we get to him, but I have no idea who she is in
who
this
she
movie.
is? Maybe one of the kids that dance?
I I
Oh,
don't.
maybe in that opening. Okay,
Mhm.
let's get there. Let's get there.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
a
No, we
that
can.
was
Yeah,
one of the first numbers that we get to see is when the DJ just opens the floor up to these three. He seems to just pick. Okay, so before first we
yeah.
meet a group of guys. So we get
Right.
these this opening um with like we said stills and a very titular Beat Street song, and then
It's
we
like a heartbeat. Beat
yeah.
Street. It's like a
Mhm.
heartbeat.
It's a
Beat
Beat
Street.
Street.
The rapping. Now, I am
So
not.
many times they say Beach Street.
Yeah.
If you would have to drink and take a shot every time they sang Beach Street in the opening, you'd be shit faced
Oh,
before
you'd
the
be
movie
dead
started.
before the opening credits
Yeah.
were over because it is so repetitive. And I mean, I understand that music evolves and music changes, and I am not a
Sure.
big fan of rap. I don't really listen to rap. Don't really know anything about it, but I will still hear it from time to time.
Sure.
And I think because we lived through the basically the invention of rap to where it is
Mm,
now, I cannot think of a musical genre that has changed and evolved more than rap. I assume anybody who's like 15 to 20 years old right now that is really into rap,
hmm.
they would be embarrassed and
Yeah.
shocked to listen to any of this
This. Yeah.
stuff. Like just trying to, and it feels like it now. Listening to it now, it's like you're trying to get your footing, like you're trying to figure this out.
It
And I appreciate it,
feels
but it's
like, and no offense to because sometimes they are more delicious. But you know when you buy like the dollar store version of like the Chips Ahoy or the
Sure.
Keebler
Yes.
cookie, and no, I'm not no judgment because sometimes those do end up being tastier. But you
Yeah.
know how there's just something off because you're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Oh yeah.
the Keebler elves made this.
The, the
Keebler.
Keyblow elves.
Yeah,
I think
yes,
you're
the
really,
Keebler.
I think you're
Even
really
better.
just thinking of Hydrox compared to Oreo. Like,
Oh,
and
he's laying down thick with the names of the cookies. Now
of
I want to
course,
eat some cookies. Forget about this
but
movie.
the
Okay, go ahead.
reason I'm bringing up Hydrox is they came first. And then Oreo was
Ah,
like, these are fine, but we can make them better, which is,
better.
I think it's a perfect comparison, which is like, yeah, I see what you're trying to do, but can we make it a little more exciting?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
can we do anything more with this? Plus, he's a DJ.
He's a DJ.
That's it. Like,
Well, DJing was a thing for like it's so
yes.
funny now how even that's changed. Like I did appreciate like the club scenes where you saw the records full of milk crates or the milk crates, sorry, filled with records.
Right.
And the whole like, that was a thing
Oh,
now.
sure.
I mean, I know there's still DJs that exist. I'm
Listen,
just, I'm an old lady now and I don't know.
people are still into vinyl now, which just
Yeah, no,
sounds
but even
crazy to me,
like
but that's fine.
you don't spin records. Maybe you do more of a
Right.
online, I don't know how they do it these days, but program situation like a garage band, but
Yes,
for tweaky,
exactly.
tweaky, tweak. But yeah, it's just different now than it was then.
Right. This is at this
Even the
point
break
an
dancing,
art
like
form.
breakdancing is a sport, right? Wasn't that part of this joke was that there was a break dancer who
There was
did
an
foolish moves?
There was an
Yeah,
Australian breakdancer that clearly did not know what she was doing.
right.
Yes.
But this was like I was watching this and let's have a
Hmm.
little commentary first on
Oh yeah,
break
please.
dancing in the 80s
I think
because
it's
it is
important.
it is wild to think that and I don't know the history of it. I didn't study it. I'll have to look up on microfiche, I suppose. Um, like and it's dudes, primarily dudes. What made them go, I'm gonna flop my body around like a worm on the floor. I'm gonna start spinning on my elbow. I'm gonna spin around on my head. I'm gonna do sort of gymnastics, but also like like thrusting.
I mean,
Then-
you're asking me questions I do not have answers
But like
for.
what ponder with me. How
I
do you think
think
it was uncovered, discovered, or
my thought is again, just like rap was basically invented, I'm assuming as
listen
just
to us.
something
Listen to us,
different. I know
ignorant
this
idiots.
is wonderful. I hope everybody's having a great Juneteenth when they're listening. They're like, these two stupid honkies
Yeah,
don't know
they
shit.
have no idea. I know breakdancing might have some beautiful,
Oh,
like
I'm sure
epic
there's some sort of
background to it.
cultural
Yeah,
significance. But
exactly.
what I appreciate about it is it's almost like somebody watched everyone else dance and goes, why is anybody using more of their body on the floor? Like, why is it just feet on the floor? We could put our whole body on the floor and do something. And it is kind of super fun to
Well,
just
and when,
watch what these
yeah,
guys do. And the
exactly.
idea that in the room at the beginning, we're kind of talking about this movie. At the beginning, first of all, I just thought these were like four roommates hanging out. Like, I
Me
just
too,
thought,
because that's
yeah,
how they're introduced. They're all in an apartment. You don't realize till a minute later
no
that it
idea
was like the
how
kid's
old these
apartment. Yeah.
kids are. It's
Yeah.
winter. No one's
Mm-hmm.
going to school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the sitch is, but they have in their room, which is we've seen breakdancing before and we've seen people do it on cardboard. These guys have flattened cardboard down, but then a big chunk of like linoleum flooring on top of that to give you a smoother
So you
surface.
could slide and
It's awesome.
spin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I'll say the first one. The first time the battle happens, I was into the breakdancing, but then it gets so long that you're like, all right, we don't
Yes.
have to let all the extras. Like I said, it felt like they let everybody, like there was literally seven people on each team, and each guy got his own, like,
Each guy got like twice. It's like that was fine, but try it again. Do it again.
and sometimes it was like, and this is what I'm thinking. So like, because again, I know this from our rapid movie or
Sure.
our
We learned a
movies.
lot.
There's rehearsal time, right? They're in their little spaces, like you said, their
Hmm.
apartments working out these moves. But when they're in their competition, they just kind of like it's like they thrust their body back and forth to the body tells them what to do. The body says spin on the elbow
Uh-huh.
or, worm it on the floor or high kick and then flip. Like one of the guys
Right.
was like literally like he was a little gymnast flinging his body all around the
Oh
break
yeah.
dancing room.
Yeah,
And then
because
one guy, like one or two, was just like 1, 2, 3, like that's nothing. I'm not impressed, but whatever.
no,
I guess she takes all
that's
kinds.
how it started. And I was like, this really has vibes of that Australian breakdancer. Because if you're not getting down on the ground or you're not spinning quickly, I'm not really into the moves. And and my my takeaway or my I guess suggestion to people is if you think that there is maybe one to two to three possibly different things you could do at breakdancing, I would suggest checking out that first breakdancing scene
Yeah.
because there's so much I've never seen before. One guy has rag wrapped around his hand so he doesn't
Mm,
hurt his knuckles, and
hmm.
he spins on his fist. His
Yeah.
entire body is on his fist, and he's just spinning around.
Well,
I don't think I've ever seen that before. It was
no,
pretty
me
great.
neither. And I have to say, older body me was looking at this stuff going, ow, that is gonna injure you. Something
Yeah.
severe, my friend.
Oh,
But
all these people have crippling arthritis now.
yeah, yeah, the
So yeah,
concerns, right?
so we are introduced to, again, like I said, four roommates. Kenny is our main character. We follow him pretty much through the entire
Hmm.
movie. Everything kind of revolves around him, and he is a
Loosely.
yeah, loosely. I mean, nothing ever gets too far from his purview.
Mhm.
He is a hopeful, like a DJ in training, a hopeful
Yes.
DJ. But
And I
we,
want to say he's out of high school and he's doing this as
I
like his
guess.
and living with his mom and has to drag his high school, what I thought was his high school brother around to some of these events, unwillingly, even though, as it turns out, his brother, is a good dancer and
He's a better
pretty,
dancer than he is. I
he
don't think we
totally is.
see Kenny dance at all. But, and you said has to drag his brother around. At one point, his mom's like, I don't want your brother involved in
Yeah.
this stuff that
Yeah.
you're involved in.
Hmm.
But it's also like the little brother. I thought it was going to be like the little brother sneaks around, but no, they're always kind of happy to have him
Well,
there.
because he's very charming, the brother, and
Oh, I'm not
he,
saying not to,
yeah.
but it's not like again, there's no tension. There's no like, mom
Yeah.
says you can't do this. Mom wants better for you. You need to go to school.
Right.
No, no, no. And spoiler, the little brother gets thrown in jail, and I'm waiting for the mom to tell him off, but no, she tells the cop off,
I
which I
kind of like
appreciate.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
kind of did
I
like that,
did.
but yeah.
But also, I'm like, "Oh, well, then what message were you trying to send to him through this whole movie
I think
about
she's
not
just a worried
hanging
mom.
with these bad kids, but
Yeah.
nobody's bad because again, they're not fighting, they're just dance fighting.
Right, right.
I
And
don't
they're not
know.
getting into other trouble. There's worse they can do. And it's true.
Yes.
There's no the only quote crime is the tagging, right? Because they tag illegally. And of course the getting into the abandoned buildings and all that kind of stuff. But even at the clubs, there's no drug use. You don't see any
Oh no,
even
no.
drinking or anything like
No.
that. They're really just there for the music, for the gathering, for the dancing.
Right.
Um, and for the art because
For the
they
art.
there's a moment where he has a conversation, Rambo
Yeah.
Ramo has a conversation with Kenny, um about like being true to their art, how
Yes.
Kenny's art is the music and
Because
Rambo.
it's so quickly established who these are because Kenny is like our leader of the group,
Hmm.
but then as I said, there's Charlie, and you know he means business because he carries a briefcase and wears skinny ties everywhere.
Hmm.
And then there is Ramo, who is the artist, because very early we see him with a sketch pad and he has
Like bubble
baby
letters.
baby markers and he's just and the little kid's like, this is awesome. Really? Really? He's like,
Well,
why,
there's a
when are
whole
you
thing.
gonna
When you
teach me
gonna
to do this?
teach me how to
Yeah.
do that? And yeah.
And I'm listen, you cast these people because they can dance and they can sing and they can move their bodies, I guess,
Okay.
or they're actors, I guess. Anytime we see the guy who's supposed to be the amazing spray painter actually spray painting. It's dripping all over the place. It's barely cut. It's terrible. Like everything around what he's spray painting looks amazing. But when
Hmm.
this actor's spray painting, I'm like, this looks like shit. Like clearly he did
My, what quick
nothing that we're
work they
looking
do
at.
though. What,
They
am I
spray
right?
paint
When
a
they spray
mural on
down?
an entire train. It appears to take them 20 to 30 minutes to
Yeah.
do this.
And the epic white train. I myself have
Oh,
never seen a white
I've
train
never
either.
seen it. No.
Blank canvas though to an art tag
It's
artist.
not even gray. I'm like, why is it white? I've never seen a subway car that is white before.
I think that's a mistake by the subway makers. Subway makers.
Do you think they did it before this movie? And when this movie came out, they're like, we
They're like, oh,
cannot do this
yeah, this
anymore.
is, but white, like, no, I've
It
never
looked
seen.
ridiculous.
Mhm.
It looked so silly. It was like their, boy, I hate to say their white whale, but it was very strange when they're like, oh my God, look at that white.
Yeah.
And some of the conversation is awesome because Ramo at one point seems really upset. He's down in the dumps for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But Kenny, I think, goes, it's a white subway car. It's all you've ever
Ever,
talked
all you've
about. And
ever
I'm
talked
like,
about. Uh-huh.
wow, what boring conversations these people must have.
Man, if I could just find a white subway car. All right. I mean,
And
yeah.
as you said, Jamie, I appreciate what they do. Like I like to live this lifestyle at
Mhm.
20 years old,
Sure.
21,
That sounds about
18,
right.
whatever.
Mhm.
Because it appears that all they do every day is they get up and they're like, we gotta go. We got a lot of stuff to do. And
Right.
they go to an abandoned building and have parties.
Yeah. And they set it up, right?
Yes.
And then they do some dancing, practice dancing, I'm guessing. We don't even see, which I don't need, but we don't even see like splitting a pizza or going to the diner. No, their life, they eat, sleep, and breathe these
Yeah.
parties.
I
And
like the setting. I don't know how you felt about the
yeah, the
setting.
city
Like
setting
I remember
and their
the
even the apartment I like,
oh yeah.
you know.
It feels real. It feels lived in.
Hmm.
It feels like it was shot on location, of course. It was
Hmm.
almost like in Rappin. Remember, Rappin was winter Pittsburgh,
Oh
which
yeah,
looked
yeah,
like
yeah.
shit. Like this
Yeah.
is winter Bronx, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah. No,
Like
it's got
there's
a good.
snow everywhere.
Yeah, Rae Dawn at one point throws a snowball on their little
Hmm.
date
Yeah,
in the city. Yeah. Yeah, no, I felt that yeah, it gave a good vibe in that
yeah.
way for sure.
We're really praising this movie that
We're
neither
finding
of
the
us liked.
praise. We're finding the praise.
Hey, and this is not, we have not talked about this beforehand, but Jamie, I know you didn't like it, and I did not like this movie. There are some huge flaws, so we're really front loading with the stuff that I think we liked about
Sometimes you
this.
got to do that. Bring on the
Yeah,
positive, right? Put it.
because I was kind of, I was sort of excited about the
Me
movie we were
too.
watching
Me
at
too.
this
I
point.
watched the so if you watch the preview on YouTube or whatever, first of all, you get a great summary of everything except
Oh,
the
okay.
death. That's a little shocking, and they don't give you any inclination that that's going to happen, as they shouldn't,
Why
right?
would you? It almost feels like it
Exactly.
was tacked on at the end. Like
Yeah, yeah. Like
there's
let's
like,
maybe Rambo couldn't make it to the
yeah,
last days of shooting,
like
and they were like, "We'll just kill you off. It's fine."
it's
Mhm.
almost
A
as if
train
someone
accident.
read the script, got to the end, and went, "I don't think anything happened. Can we make something happen in
Something
this
needs to
movie?"
happen. A fight on the tracks, an electrocution. Ooh,
A
okay.
brutal death. I was kind of ready for one of them to get hit by a train, not both of them to be electrocuted.
Yeah. Yeah. Super spicy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they throw a party,
Yeah.
um, and it's kind of just like he's DJing,
Hmm.
everybody's dancing. It looks like fun.
What dance moves we see? What characters when you do before you get kind of fed up with this movie being too long and you
Yeah.
admire the extras in the audience or in the dance crowds, there are some like one guy really angry dancing, some ladies really getting into their groove. This is the first party, right, where then he's doing his spinning his records and people are grooving, and then all of a sudden he introduces what sounds like he just pulled three girls' names out of a hat, right? But
Wow,
it's
this
these three girls that give us
yes.
a whole us song. Us girls. We can boogie too. Us girls. I can't sing the
Yeah,
song, but
no, because and it is
it's
kind
a
of
whole number. It's
oh,
not like it's part of it. We
right.
have a 4 minute
No, it's a
song.
group. It's a
Yeah.
group. The girls' names are Sha Rock,
Mm-hmm.
Debbie D, and Lady Lisa Lee.
Lady
And
Lisa Lee.
the Lady Lisa Lee is the one in green. I
Which
don't
one
know.
sings to Kenny's brother? Because I felt that was highly inappropriate.
I don't know which one. I was paying
Okay.
most attention to the one in green because her haircut is an abomination. She
Oh yeah,
has
with the weird sides and the
he has
yeah.
like sideburns, a mullet, but bangs. It is such a strange look
I
for
mean,
hair on a man or a woman, and she really looks out of place. Like the other two look totally fine and normal, and she's going with it with this
I
haircut, and it's not working.
and it's well, I mean, she's that's what you do when you're in an 80s group. You got to stand out somehow, right? So you just have
Yes.
the wacky haircut. Otherwise, you're just one of the ladies, one of the
Oh yeah.
trio.
I do believe
And
the song is called Girls Can Boogie Too, Jamie.
oh,
But
I thought it was
they
called
do
Us
say
Us
us,
Us
us, us
a lot.
45 times at
Did you
the end.
count? Yeah. It's quite a bit. I mean, they were running out of lyrics. And yeah,
And it's
girls can boogie too.
yeah, and it's not like us, us, it's us,
Mm-hmm.
us. I was like, that's great. Us. They just kept going. I'm like,
Even
what is
they
this
look bored
song?
with it.
They
When they're
did,
exiting,
yes.
I think it's the girl whose hair you hate. I think she rolls her eyes at the camera as she
Probably.
exits the stage to like end the song. Because then they sing that song and then they're done. And then
Yes.
this group hears, and I don't know where this guy comes from or what his whole point is, but
No
they're
idea.
standing there.
This is the moment where I was like, I think we're on the wrong track with this movie now. I was really into
Well,
it.
why did we invite another dude and another white dude that looks similar to Rambo? And I'm like, well, so what's his point? So the dudes are hanging around
Hmm.
and they hear this like banging, almost sounds like pipes banging rhythmically, right? And
Well,
it's somewhere in the building.
yeah, if I could jump in real quick.
Yeah, jump it.
This is the thing that was really confusing. When you say banging on pipes rhythmically, yes, it is someone playing on pipes along with the music they're listening to.
Right.
And they're like, what the fuck? What is that? It sounds weird. This is scary. What is this scary noise? Like this is not this is someone playing along with the music. They're creeping around like they're in a haunted house. I'm
Mhm.
like, no, it's just somebody hitting, I don't know, pipes with a wrench. Like, what is wrong with you idiots? It feels like a Scooby-Doo episode for about a minute and a
And
half.
I wanted it to be that. I wanted them
Yeah,
to find some like old man who
that
used
would
to
be great.
spin records himself, who locked himself in the basement years ago, and he's been communicating through these beats and no one pays attention because the
Yep.
building's abandoned. But no, it's some kid who then says that he is looking for
Tito.
Tito,
Uh-huh.
who used to live in this building, but this building
Yep.
is now abandoned, or used to be
Yep.
the, I was going to say the MC of the building, the landlord maybe of the building.
Don't know. And
And they're
and
like, they reference, oh yeah, we know him, yeah, but the building's abandoned. And now I don't know how it just, he joins their team. It's like
I
effortless,
it
right?
made it feel like Tito met a tragic end.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
because it's not like, oh, we'll take you to see him. We know where he lives. It's like,
right.
oh yeah, Tito, I got some bad news about that guy. And this guy, it's a hulking white man in a
Mm-hmm.
beret.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he's so bummed out when he hears about Tito, whatever he hears, because he says, I've always wanted to just start a band in New York City to
Yeah,
where they
Tito was
go,
gonna do it.
fuck you, this is the Bronx. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you
Oh yeah.
just devastated this man by saying, I think his best friend might be dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now you're insulting him. But also, it's just like, hey, you're part of our gang now, man. Come on
Yeah,
upstairs and let's
because
party.
he wants to start a band. He was coming to meet Tito and his Congos,
Yes.
but that didn't surface, so he met these
No.
dudes,
Yeah. And I
and
love
the
it when
rest
he
is
goes,
history.
he goes, do you guys have any food? And they say, do you have any money? Smash cut to him just jamming food in his mouth at this party.
Oh, there
And
is
the
food
party's
involved.
still
See?
raging. Yeah.
Of course, of
It's still
course.
going. It's so fun.
And then this is when a fight happens,
Yeah, a fight almost breaks out.
kind of, but this is what happens, I guess, at these dance things, right? Hmm.
Yeah, the oh no, I wrote their names down later because they have group names. The
Oh,
red
yeah.
team is called Beat Street,
Oh,
and I
so
did
because they
not
have
like the
denim
other one.
jackets too
Oh,
with the Beach Street logo.
yes, the Bronx Rockers are the blue
Like
team.
Rockettes. I gotta pee because I
Oh,
had
that's
two
fine. Yeah,
beverages
me
beforehand.
too.
Sorry. Okay,
Okay.
great.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Okay, bye. Hold on. Oh, pee.
I was going to say,
Oh.
you can say, hey, but I can't. I mean, you wouldn't hear me if I responded. Oh,
No.
I no longer have to do my 3:30 thing, so don't worry
Oh,
about that.
oh, oh,
There's no
good.
way
Freeing up
there's no
time for
way.
no. I
We're
think we
in
could
like
wrap it up at
scene
another
one
20.
of this movie, though. So, as you said, there is a dance battle about to happen, or maybe it was going to be an actual fist fight, but this is broken up by the man in the beret walking over with a beer can, which he eats.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's
Okay.
roll.
Crisis
That's
averted,
yep,
everyone.
yep. That's how we end things around here.
And that's kind of how this scene ends. Like that's the
Hmm.
end, not the end of the party, but you assume they have been partying late into the night.
Well, because now we get them waking up, we get a little insight
Hmm.
into the home life
Yes.
of our lead here, Kenny, and his brother Lee. And is this no? He does not wake up next to the one
No,
guy.
that's later
That's
on.
later on.
Yeah.
No, but the mom is there, and she you could
Hmm.
tell she's a little concerned. They're up late, and the brother's been out with them, and this is a thing when mom mentions like he needs to do school, like she's the
Yes.
responsible, they're not,
Hmm.
it gives us again, I would have just been like, oh, okay, they're a bunch of 20 somethings, starting out in the
Right.
city, but they at least this one lives with his mom, you know.
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
and
This is where I was really confused because their mom has to get them up,
mhm
has to feed them breakfast, has to
mhm
get them out the door, and
mhm
I assumed to go to school. No, they just go back to that abandoned place again.
well,
Like,
this is when the promoter friend comes in with a new
right.
idea, right?
Yes, yes. I very early or very quick the mom when they're eating, Kenny makes up a rap about oatmeal.
Oh
And
yeah.
I do like how their mom goes, "Eat your eggs before I break your legs." And then she
They
says,
call her the
"Now you know
OG.
where." Yes,
Yeah.
and she goes, "Now you know where you got your talent from."
Yeah, yeah. She's
So it
pretty
was pretty
sassy.
fun.
Who
Yes,
is she? She's from something. I've seen her on things before. And
she's in a lot. Her name is Mary Alice. She was
mhm.
the I only saw the first Matrix movie, but she was
Oh,
like the old wise black woman that he
yeah,
goes to
yeah.
that's like
Hmm.
bending spoons or whatever. Yeah, she's a pretty successful actress.
Yeah. Well, and she plays like you want
Yeah.
her to take her seriously as a mom. She's
Hmm.
probably does one of the best performances in this whole thing.
I think it's great. I do
Yeah.
have questions about what the director told her she was watching on TV when we see that she's just watching ladies work out
Oh,
while she's ironing. Because I'm like, there's no way that actress thinks that that's what she's watching.
that's what they're putting on there, right?
Yeah, it was almost like, do you remember? I mean, we did the one Friday the 13th,
Hmm.
and very at the very beginning, there's just like I don't know a guy who's working at the hospital, and he's just sitting watching ladies exercise.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh, yeah, do it. I was like, that feels like what this lady
What
is
this
watching.
lady's doing, yeah.
Yeah. So you're right in that they go like okay. I thought they were going to school. They're not going to school. I
Mm-mm.
don't really know what they're doing, but you said their promoter friend or their one friend that appears to have no talent, so I guess he's their agent.
That's how he comes, yeah. Hmm.
Yes, talks about how
He's
he
got
got them in
to
at a
the
club.
Roxy, to the
Hmm.
Roxy, big time. And the mom is even like, because she just gave them the speech about slowing it down, but
Yeah,
she kind of looks because it is a big club and they're stoked now.
sure.
And meaning that to DJ at the Roxy. I like later he gets another opportunity, again, found by the promoter, because occupational hazard, I suppose. The other DJ injured his hand.
Yeah,
And so he can't DJ that night, which is,
his
but that's not this
his
gig.
brother slammed his
Yeah.
hands in
Oof.
the window, and I'm like, do all DJs have little brothers in this movie?
No, like
Do all?
dangerous ones too.
Yes.
Well, so yeah, we're excited. We get to do a big gig now. The Roxy's not an
Yep.
abandoned building, right?
Nope. Yeah, moving up in the world
Yeah, they
suddenly,
fly
very
through.
suddenly.
What a club this place is. What a scene this is. Am I right?
Yeah.
Again, not as like very PG, which I'm happy to see. We're not seeing like,
No, they're saying they're cursing a lot in this movie. I am curious as to what
mm,
this movie was rated
mm,
because a lot of the raps
you
say
think?
fuck. Yeah. I
Really?
mean, I'm not saying that this is an R-rated movie,
Okay.
but everything seemed tame, but there is a lot of cursing in this movie. So it
No,
made me actually wonder while I was watching. I'm like, did this movie get a pass? Because nothing other than cursing is going on,
no,
but there's a
no.
lot. There's a lot of F-bombs
A
dropped in
lot
this
of
movie.
F-bombs. All
It
right,
was
all right.
surprising because if we're talking about movies like Breakin' and we're talking about rapping, like there was nothing in those
No,
movies that
no,
could be
those were
P.
very G. Yeah. Well, the parties, I guess, are G. There's no bumping and grinding. There's no,
No,
I'm gonna
there's
do the
no,
bumping. Like there's no
but
drug use
there's
and,
none of that.
grinding back
There's
drinks.
not even alcohol consumed in
No,
this
no,
movie.
no, no. It's just
This had to be PG.
I don't know. I didn't
Yeah,
see the
it
rating,
had to
but
be.
that tracks. Yeah, minus the F-bombs.
So this around this time in the movie, we finally see Rae Dawn Chong.
Mm-hmm.
She is, I don't know, like they want, I think, to play with the idea of like these two are from different sides of the tracks. There's like uh I don't want to say a Romeo and Juliet thing. I'm
Well,
gonna
because
say Lady and the Tramp thing, but they don't play with it.
not enough. And there's
No.
moments like again, twice. So they make eye con I think she's there with another guy, another dancer, right?
No, she's
Or a
just there
group
with her
or
friends. We
group.
see she and
Oh,
her
that's right,
friends in the
because we
back of a
see
cab.
and we see them getting ready. We see how him and his
Yes.
friends get ready to go to
Uh-huh.
the Roxy and how her and they're like taking the train in and dancing on the
Yeah.
train and her
Jumping
friends are in a cab.
turnstiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but then they all meet up here and yeah, there's some eye contact made. But Rae Dawn actually goes for the brother, the little
Well,
brother,
she
which
sees that breakdance battle.
yeah,
Who
yeah.
wouldn't go for this child
Yeah, I was a
after
little
watching
nervous
him
because she's like, I'm
dance?
very interested in you.
Yeah.
And he sees all this. But yes, because there was a battle that happened. And this is
Hmm.
our, I called them, in the beginning, I was calling them treats, but then they became too obnoxious and they were more annoyances.
Oh,
But these little, like,
okay.
when we would get like a 20-minute dance break, or a 20-minute like audition to perform at the abandoned building
And I
thing.
guess this is what clubs were at some point. And maybe clubs similar to this exist, but when I hear there's going to be a DJ there, I don't also think there's going to be some like overweight village people band.
This is insane.
What is this?
This is insane.
It is insane.
Hmm.
Like we just saw a breakdance battle, a
Hmm.
20-minute breakdance battle that I had to sit through. And then we watched this band. These guys are ridiculous. Like this is insane. I wrote the names down
They
at the
do look
end.
like the village people, like bloated village people.
Do you want to know the name of this
I
band? Because
do.
it's even more confusing.
I
So
do.
the band name is, and I'll take a deep breath, Africa Bombasta and the Soul Sonic Force plus Shango.
Plus Shango.
Yes, plus
I
Shango.
bet Shango's the one with the braids and the
You think so?
sunglasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like an enormous guy in a Rick James wig.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I did not know what was going on. I was like, is this a
No.
real band? And why are we suddenly cutting to this? I thought we were here to just dance.
No, and I think maybe that was like maybe they were, if they're gonna have a big name like that too. Maybe they
A
were
b
a popular break-in band. I don't know.
Oh, I thought when you said big name, I was like, Jamie, you know this group? You
I
know
do
that they're
not.
famous enough?
I do not. I wish I did, but yeah, I said, what
Oh,
is this band at the Roxy?
one other thing, real quick, because it's somewhat important in this movie, which is shocking. Um, all of what's his name's Ramo, all of
Hmm.
Ramo's tags are getting tagged over
Oh, right, right,
by
right.
someone named Spit,
Well,
who
that's what
they've
they're writing on it. They're
right,
writing
who they've
spit. Yeah.
never seen before.
No.
But Ramo posits is another tagger whose work wasn't very good. So now his purpose is to just ruin other great work.
Yep. Yep. And Ramo's work is all over the city. They find it,
Yes.
they see it, they're excited to see it, and when they see that it's been spit on,
Mm-hmm.
They are not
Yes.
happy. But
We
yes,
have
that's
to see
another
his work through
battle.
this entire movie. This
Hmm.
it does appear that he has tagged every building, every train car. Every time somebody rounds a corner, we see Ramo's name
Hmm.
up on the
Hmm.
side of a building.
And sometimes it's like with inspirational quotes, like "Don't let the man bring you down," and
Right.
"Tomorrow's another day," and
Tomorrow's another day. I hope his quotes were that lame, but yes. And also this dance battle that we could just talk about for the entire podcast. There's no winner announced at the end of this. Like
no,
the crowd just like engages and swallows them up, and
that's
then we
how a
move
dance
on with
battle
our
ends. I
evening.
think
Right.
that's how it
Yes.
ends. But then
But
we go on to the rooftop.
yeah,
Well,
but as you said, Rae Dawn Chong, she gives her phone number to the this
Lee,
little kid,
yeah,
and his brother appears to be a little bit jealous
yeah,
about this, of
hmm
course.
hmm
And the next day, these guys are excited to see, as we said before, a clean white train,
hmm
because
hmm
that's all Ramo ever talks about,
yeah, yeah.
is something that
It's a
doesn't
blank
exist.
canvas for him. It's a blank canvas for him, and he's excited.
Yes.
Um,
I want you to tell me what is happening when they go to this college because I was so confused. I
I
don't know.
was too, and
Okay.
as to what she does. Okay, so as a group now, there's been a number exchange with what's Ray Dawn's name? Do you remember?
Stacy?
Stacy. You said it. Yes,
Yeah.
Stacy. Tracy. No, you said Tracy.
Tracy. Yeah,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Um, Tracy has invited Lee to her work, which is a college, which is a performing arts school of some kind, right?
Okay, wait a
Now,
second. I'm sorry. Already, yes. Is she a student? She's a
is she
student,
a
right?
student? Is she a choreographer? Is she a, because later she's conducting the orchestra, and I was like, oh, wait, she's a conductor?
Is she all of these things?
That's what I
Did
wondered too.
she's conducting the music, but also I'm like, did you make up these dance moves
Well,
too?
because they arrive and that's what it is. It's a stage with
Yeah.
dancers, kind of like
Yeah.
getting the rehearsal on,
Hmm.
right? And Lee is just like, "Hey, I'm here," and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Come on up." And all the dancers take a break and just marvel at
Marvel.
Lee
These
dancing.
these
They record it.
professional dance
Yeah.
students are in
That's what I
awe
was
of
like. Do
this
you really
child.
think that these who have been training for years and can dance, you have daughters that dance on their tippy
Yeah.
toes and their toes
Uh-huh.
bleed and the whole bit. And not saying that the break dancing isn't like its
It's
own,
good.
yeah,
It's good,
lovely
but they are
thing.
losing their fucking
They're
minds.
recording it and they're taking notes and they're blown away by it. But now this becomes our first, I guess, Romeo Juliet, not even Romeo, just point of tension where the he's not invited. Lee is not invited to join the cast or join the
Right.
dancers. He was just sort of there for their amusement and for them to
Yeah,
record this video
yes.
for
For
their studies,
goodness.
I guess. And this is where Kelly gets upset and he's like, "No, my brother gets that video and you
Yeah.
told him to come here." And Rae Dawn's totally honest. She's like, "He knew. I was honest with him from the start that this he was just coming to dance for us and
Yeah.
have us check out his
Oh,
moves." And he's like, "Well,
I
I
am
want that
so
video." And they take the video at the end, and the one guy
yeah.
holds the one teacher back and it's like, "Just let them have it." And I'm like, "What is going on?"
I had no idea what was, yeah, but I'm glad you got the same thing I did out of that, which is
Yeah.
just they just wanted to watch this kid dance, record his dance moves to steal his dance moves
I
for
don't
this
know that they were
show.
stealing it. That's what they
That's why were they recording it?
I guess to study it, and
Okay.
that's what bothered his brother so much, or what bothered Kenny so much was that he felt like his brother was being objectified a little bit, I guess, and taken advantage
And he
of.
should.
Mm-hmm.
He should. That made total sense to me because I was like, so are they just they want to gawk at this kid and then steal his dance moves, but also because it was very apparent when Kenny was like, so he's going to be in your show. Oh no, no, he's not a student here. These
Mm-mm.
can only be college students in this
Mm-hmm.
show.
Mm-hmm.
In this my senior thesis. I'm
I
just
know.
filling
I
in
don't know.
blanks here, but yeah, I was really confused as to what was going on because you're right. Kenny and his entire crew who showed up to this take the VHS tape and storm off in a huff.
They kind of take care of the business, right?
Yeah. And
Um,
like you said, Rae Dawn is like, I made this very clear when I met this
Hmm.
child in a
Hmm.
club
Hmm.
what was happening. And then I'm
She,
like, well, Kenny, your brother's had all day and during the trip over to tell you why he was here. He never told you any of this?
I, get- I, yeah, because Rae Dawn initially doesn't seem like it's, she's just like, well, yeah, it's not my fault. But
Yeah.
later, she does go to their place to kind of
Right.
make amends. And this is when she falls a little harder for Kenny.
Kenny.
She
Yes.
goes there looking
Yeah.
for both of them, essentially to
Yes.
apologize. Mom
Hmm.
answers the door, of course. And this is when we get a glimpse of just how passionate Kenny is about
Oh
his
yeah, yeah.
about
And the
his
mom's a
DJing.
little the mom's a little suspect because this mature woman has shown up looking for her uh
Oh
14
yeah, yeah.
year
Because
old
first she
son.
asked for when Rae Dawn first comes, she asked for Lee, and
Yeah.
she's like, "And I'm sure you want to see his brother Kenny, who's more your
Yes,
age, correct?"
right.
And she's like, "Yeah, fine, I'll see both of them."
I'm pretty sure you got my son's names
Yeah,
confused.
yeah.
You're looking for Kenny. I don't want to tell you what your business is, but that is the age of consent, Kenny. That's the one you're looking for.
Right, right. Now, again, he's rocking out and having his
Oh yeah.
moment there. He's incorporating some percussion into his work and having at it, and they have a very nice discussion. They
It
have
is
a very
nice.
sweet bonding time about
Yes.
her creative process as a choreographer, conductor,
She's
creative
she's a
person.
she's a conductor. No, not a
Okay.
conductor. She's a composer, I think
Composer,
is
that's
what
right,
she
because
says.
he puts
Yes.
some kind of music on. She goes, "I wrote that," and
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
And I
Yeah,
was like, how did he get this?
yeah.
You
He's
wrote
cassette
music
tape
that's
that
been
he.
produced and is out in the wild that he could just come up with?
That's how this works.
Oh, I love it because he's like, you want to hear something? And it just starts with drips. And he's like, sometimes I just record things that I hear. I just like water dripping. That's
Some
where that beep
noises,
beep
right?
beep noise is coming
Yeah.
from. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like I could tell that was water dripping. But she's into it. They have very
Yeah.
similar interests. And
Then he plays a
and
little bit
then
and he says,
yeah,
"Do you really want to go see where Lee is?
yeah,
Because he's been, yeah,
it's a dangerous
it's
place.
dangerous."
This
And
is
she's
pretty
like, "I
dangerous.
like danger." Oh, wait, did we skip over? I think we
Oh, we
did.
skipped over. Let's do it. Let's do it because
Where we
because
get
we
to meet
yeah,
Rambos?
Ramo,
Ramos,
Ramo. First of all, the only thing we've really seen,
Ramones.
we've seen a bunch. He's like a major character in this because he's the artiste of the group, of
Yeah.
course. We also watched his father yell at him and throw
Hmm.
spray paint cans at him. And now we really see what is going on with this guy.
He meets
And
up with this lady in this apartment, and they're
yes,
heavy, heavy making out in the hallway
yeah.
of this apartment. And you're
These
like,
two are
okay,
adorable.
yeah, they
They're
are very
very
cute.
cute. I love
Yes.
them as a couple in this movie.
And you could tell they both just want to be together and not
Yeah.
in their lives as they are. Because she's living at home with her mother, who is helping take care of the baby, and I guess her family, siblings, and all that. And
Yes.
what doesn't seem to be
Her mother also looks like a Dracula, which is kind of
her
scary.
mother's very aggressive, very Dracula-like in her approach. Because her mother, right away, he comes by. I think he's got a shirt
He's
that
got a
he
little
made
shirt.
that he's designed with the Beach Street logo for his
Yes.
baby. And she is so excited. His girlfriend is like so excited to see him and so excited
Yeah.
for him to see the baby. And there's a nice interaction, but the mom comes right in the middle of it, and she's like, "What do you do? Like, this is
Hmm.
nothing. You're a deadbeat dad." And he gets frustrated pretty quickly with her and walks out into the hallway
Yeah.
and is followed by his lover girlfriend, and she's like, "I'm sorry." And then she's like, "It just sucks here. My mom
Yeah.
sucks and it sucks." And he's like, "I know." She's like, "Take us away." He's like, "I can't. Like
Yes.
I'm
It's
chasing my white
right.
train dream right now. I
In a
can't."
movie that has no emotion to it whatsoever, when she's like, take me away from this, and he goes, I got no place to take you. I was like, this is not supposed to be in this movie, but I'm
No, I
kind
was
of here
like,
for it.
how? Right? Cuts a little deeper. Let's get back to just the dance battles.
Right.
What's happening?
Yeah. I just watched 30 minutes of dance battles. I had no idea one of you was a father.
No,
Like, no
exactly. To a
idea.
young mother who is just, I just want you guys to be okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
okay, let's see.
it's funny. I do find it fun how when Rae Dawn is watching him play his music and she's just sitting on his bed listening to him, she seems really into it until he gets a little into it and he picks up a tambourine and starts going crazy. At that point on her face, she's kind of over this.
Yeah. But that's where they start their adventure to the dangerous
Right.
place,
Yes. To
which
the
is a whole
dangerous subway
montage.
tunnels. Yes.
Well, first there's a right, isn't this the snowy montage of them walking around and this
That's
horrible,
afterwards.
oh, it is after.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah. But
first they
this is
get
first he takes her through the subway tunnels, like
hmm
where the subway goes, not where people should be
no,
walking.
no, under she even says, I'm not going down there. And he's
Yeah. He
like,
has
we'll
to
be
really
fine.
convince
Yeah.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they show up in a subway. I don't know. What do you call them? A subway waiting area? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, platform. Yeah.
There you go. It's like a waiting room for subway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Lee is spray painting.
Mm-hmm.
He's helping. Everybody appears to be pretty good at spray painting. Like
Yeah, the
Ramo
whole
trusts
group
them
has got
all.
some talent in the spray paint area because they group spray paint. I mean, he does big jobs. He's not just tagging like
Oh,
initials. He's
yeah.
got whole like murals that he does.
He
So he
explains that
needs
to Rae
hmm
Dawn Chong at this
hmm
point. He's like, a tag is just a few letters.
right.
This is art.
Hmm
And she's like, oh, wow, you're so good at this. And this is when he says, I used to go to that college that you go to, but I dropped out. They couldn't teach me anything.
hmm
So,
hmm
and they are scared off. They think they hear cops or something and
Yeah,
they
and
take
they got to
off.
be watchful of that when it comes
Right.
to the tagging.
But this is when Spit steps out of the shadows
Oh,
and
they don't
covers
see
up.
his face yet,
They
though.
don't. No, no, no.
They
They
just
don't.
we just
We
see him.
don't.
Yeah.
And we just see him spray paint the word spit very
hmm
poorly over top of this
Yeah.
wonderful
Yeah.
artwork.
Right
And
after it's
now,
done, fresh.
yes. And now we get a little, I don't know, a
A
little, would you
little
call this a
lovers
little
montage.
montage? Yeah.
Yeah. It's so lame and the song is super lame and it's just keeps again, it just keeps drilling the songs in this just describe what's happening
Yes,
basically.
we just saw this in that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where the
Yes.
songs are just describing what's happening. This song is like it's just about how different they are, but they'll
Mm-hmm.
come together.
How it's
These
hard to be
yeah, the
single, but
song
you
is like
yeah.
there's two different streams, but eventually they come together and they go to the
Yeah.
same place together. And it is played at the top level. Like I can't hear what they're saying. I guess
Mm-mm.
we're not supposed to hear what they're saying because this repetitive nonsense song keeps going over and over
Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know my New York City geography, but she appears to live near, I think they walked through Central Park to get to her
Yeah, they seem
building.
to. Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know, like, how far is that from the Bronx? I know you can get around on trains, but
They need to get around
pretty
on
far,
trains is what
pretty
they need
far.
to do. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't know why I'm asking you,
I don't
but
know.
you would probably know, right?
I don't know if you take the L to the H to the I to the J to the K to the W X Y Z,
Okay, all
but
right. I mean, you don't know, but that does sound
yeah.
legit. So this is when he does get home the next day, and he
hmm
finds that their business friend is sleeping in his bed.
And he's kind of annoyed by it. Well, they do kind of both the business friend and the brother are like, "So how was she?"
Oh my
And it
God.
wasn't that. She
It's
he
not even
literally
how
dropped
was
her
she.
off.
His little brother creepy goes, what does she feel like?
Oh
I'm like,
man.
oh man. Okay, just let's not from this little kid. Okay?
Yeah, I
I mean,
don't
that's a
want it. I'm
line that I
creeped
guess
out.
could be in this movie, but we don't need it uttered by
I
this
didn't want to hear it. I
child.
didn't want to hear it. Right?
Right.
No. Mm-mm.
But his friend is very excited because
Yeah.
he got him a get.
Is this?
First of all, I thought it was just like an interview or something.
Mm-mm.
But no, it's just a night of playing, night
Yeah.
of DJing
Yeah.
at some club.
And they look at him. He's booking him left and right. He's too busy to do anything else. He's busy. He's booked up.
Uh-huh.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, we get to see a little bit more of Ramo's drama, where
hmm
again he approaches his dad and is crying to his dad like, "You don't understand. I make these trains beautiful." Do you
Oh,
remember the
dude,
scene when he?
none of this sounds familiar to
Oh
me. I may
no.
have blacked out for a
Well,
minute.
because you should. This is when they were like giving you too much and like, oh, we're back to this guy. Oh, that's right. He's got a dad, and they're. So not only does he have a kid, but he also has a tortured relationship with his dad, and then there's these guys getting ready for their next gig.
I have to tell you, I'm just so glad that we didn't have to meet or deal with their business friends' family. Like
I
it
know
does
that would
seem
have been another
weird.
one.
It does seem weird that he's the only one that we don't dig into.
I
He's
don't need
always
it.
there. He's
Yeah, but
part
I
of their
know.
group, but we don't need it.
Right.
No, I'm
Right.
glad.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Also, he's gonna play at this club, a big club promoter who is dressed like a cowboy. What is this guy wearing?
I'm
He's
not
got like a
sure.
fringy jacket on and a cowboy hat, but also like a leopard print
It's a
shirt.
weird combo. It's flashy. It's what you got to be when you're a promoter, I guess. I don't know.
And I never thought of it until right now, Jamie. There's a good chance that they're not at school because they're on Christmas break.
Oh, holiday celebration.
Hmm.
All
Yes,
right.
because I just thought I was going to watch him DJ for a little bit.
Mm-mm. No, this is a weird number that we get to see with the.
It's upsetting, is what this
So it's
is.
like a holiday. You're right, because the Santa is there, and it's very inexpensively done, where there's a rap
Yep.
happening with a group,
Hmm.
and there's black
I
cloth
believe
or
one
black
is
sheet.
Doug E. Fresh.
Oh, look at you. That could
Hmm.
have been your rapper name.
Yeah. It's only
There,
because one day one of my students called me Dougie Fresh, and I was like, how fucking old are you? Like, how do you know that name?
oh man, this was something where I was like, all right, these little bits now are not entertaining. They're just weird.
No.
So they're doing some kind of, again, it's part of the show, I guess, where these guys are rapping, but half of them, there's a Santa Claus guy in the middle or dressed
Hmm.
like a Santa Claus,
Yep.
and then the other guys' face are poked out of like a black
Yeah.
sheet that's hanging.
Yep.
But
Hmm.
we keep getting views from the rear, like views from the backstage of their booties shaking that the audience can't see
No,
because
yeah.
their audience only sees their faces rapping through the black sheet. It's a very weird number. I don't understand it unless it's like,
It makes zero sense. And like you
mhm,
said, the weirdest shots are the ones where they show it from the back, almost
yeah,
like in TV shows or movies, how they would show a puppet show being like, these puppets aren't actually real. Like
yeah,
people are controlling these. I'm like, I don't need to see, other than for me to go like, why is he wearing an entire Santa suit? We can't see it. We can only see the hat on his head.
yeah.
Like he does not need to be wearing this
And
entire
they all
suit, but he
have to
does.
stagger to stand because it's like a set of four of them.
Hmm.
So they have to stand oddly
One
over
guy's
each other.
under the other one's legs,
Yes.
sticking
So
his
it's a
head out.
weird view anyway. You're just like, well, and the song is not like you're
The
just like,
song is
let's,
called Jingle with the Poor, Jamie, because
oh,
it's all about like you're gonna get your welfare checks and then you can
oh,
buy shit for your
oh
kids. And at
man.
one point they start rapping about how G.I. Joe is gay. It was
Oh,
it was very weird.
oh man.
Un it was not entertaining in the way that the
Uh-uh.
dancing was
Mm-mm.
because I could barely pay attention to what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it seemed to come out of nowhere to where after this ends, the club promoter or the club owner comes up to Kenny and he's like, kid, you got yourself a job. And I'm like, did Kenny do that?
I don't
Did he
know.
set that up? Because that's a disgrace.
Unless it was compared to that. Like Kenny did a different show and then
They were
they went on and
trying
they were
out
like,
too.
yeah. Well, because then we do what's the little audition blurb that we get where we see the guy,
Great question.
like, why?
Why? What is this?
I
How did
don't
they
know.
stumble into this? Because we cut straight from that night and him getting a job to it appears that they're like at a gymnasium at
Auditioning.
tryouts.
Yeah.
For what?
Sorry. I don't
Bless
know.
you.
I don't know, but
Like
there's
all I need is somebody to be like, and Star Search is looking for people or something. I
right,
need to know
right, right.
why they're
Or
doing
we're
this.
filling up the night of entertainment. So you're booked, but then we're looking
Sure.
out for who else is going to be,
Yes.
performing with you that night. Because then it's an array of there's some break dancers, but then there's also some just like
There's
rappers.
uh-huh.
There's some singers, the mullet singer, the one with the mullet, and then there's the guy with the guitar who's singing about his moist girlfriend. And
Yes.
even the judges are like, "Oh, this
Like,
guy."
yeah, even the judges are like, ugh, I don't need to, we don't need to hear that. I think it was that point where I was like, what's this movie
That's what
rated?
I was like.
This
Who?
is
Why are we? What is
very
this part?
suggestive.
Yeah.
And Jamie, did you watch the credits at all or the moment that started?
I
Did
did
you?
a little bit
Okay,
now.
because all of these people are people.
Yeah.
Like they're all
But that's what I mean.
fans and people.
I
Yeah.
think they had them come and audition and they were just like, we'll just use the footage. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But that made me wonder, like, if you're really a musician and they walk up to you and they're like, you're going to be the musician that sucks. Like, that's cool, right? Like, you just do what you do
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody's going to hate it. Okay? You want to sign? You want to
I
be in
mean, I
my
guess
movie?
you're in it. You're in a movie, so you're excited.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Can you sing your gross song about your girlfriend getting wet and
know.
everybody will be disgusted by it? Great. Fantastic. Can't wait to hear it.
And he's got a weird dance that he does with his guitar. Yeah, it's a weird because then we don't see any of the people there performing again. Well,
No,
maybe because the ending scene with so many
it
dancers,
could
I'm
have
like
been
maybe
all of
one
them.
of
Maybe
them.
they
Yeah,
all came back and I
I
had
think
no
maybe.
idea.
I think maybe. Um,
Wow.
all right, let's see. Prepare.
Oh,
Oh,
after the
sorry.
tryouts, because it appears that Kenny is there to try out, and his business friend goes, no, 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 you wait
Mhm.
outside. I got this. To where Kenny pushes back a little bit, like, I think I'm here to try out. And he goes, no, 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 it's fine. And he bothers this guy into coming to see Kenny
Right.
spin or DJ at a club. And I'm like, that's a
Mhm.
pretty big risk. Like they're holding tryouts now.
Yeah, but he knows
But
how good
he
his friend is.
agrees, I guess.
Hmm. Well,
And
look
out
at what
of
he's auditioning. Of course, he's gonna
right,
agree.
yes. Because even the guy who's auditioning these people, the friend comes up and he's like, "Yeah, they're all pretty bad, right?" And the guy's like, "Well, they weren't all that bad, were they?"
Yeah, and
Like
they
some
were.
of them were actually good. Um, but this is where out of nowhere we start to get the movie that I wanted because now it's just this group of dingbats fixing up the abandoned building so Ramo and his baby mama can live there.
Can live in part of it. And they
Right.
even do because Ramo's an artist, right? So he
Hmm.
paints like a stove and a kitchen. Like it's really just an abandoned building, but it's kind of cool. Like it
It's
looks all
kind
cartoony and
It's getting
she's
close to the apartment from Three Men and a Baby. Close
mhm,
to that.
close. Yeah, yeah. It's working out. It's like like we said, though, what is the discount Oreo again? What's it called?
Yeah. Yeah, because I did think it was kind of sad. Like I thought it was kind of cute, and then I was like, oh no, he has to spray paint a TV on the wall and appliances. They
They
have
do have a
nothing.
real bed because I think it's Lee that's like, I tried out your bed. It's pretty great. I'm like, all right, Lee, again, with the inappropriate
Yeah,
like
you're
comments.
a
We don't
kid.
need to
Maybe
hear it.
stop.
Yeah.
No.
But, and I thought too, I thought, wasn't that sweet? They got, so that way she doesn't have to live with their mom. But the same abandoned building that their little newlywed apartment is in is also where the parties happen. So
Yeah,
on a
and
different
also
floor, it's also party town.
yeah, and
So,
also a white hulking creep is living in the basement.
oh yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's still in this movie. He's still part of their group. Sometimes he's not a
Sometimes.
major
Yeah.
player, but every now and then he's there. Like when they go into the one club, the guy's like, "Oh, hey, wait, are you with them?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah, yeah, he's our bodyguard." Okay,
Mm,
fine.
okay.
That
Yeah.
never comes to anything. He never has to
No.
beat anybody up or do anything.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
yeah, so this abandoned building is now ready to move in. They have her come in. Like, I love it when Rama's like, "Oh, come on in, I got a great surprise for you." And he takes her to this shithole building, and she seems very upset
Yeah.
until they open the door and reveal the same shitty building, but the walls are spray painted. She's like,
No,
"This is great."
this is adorable. And the ladies are there. Some ladies hold their baby for a second, or
Yeah.
so she can suck face with Ramo.
And we are so far into this movie at this point, and nothing in this movie has happened. I wrote in my notes right now, I'm glad they wrapped up the Ramos storyline with this happy ending.
Oh, but it's not.
No,
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 there's not.
not at all. The tragedy that
We
awaits us
thought
in
I would have
this
loved it to end here.
light-hearted movie.
Hmm.
So then that night at the club, the guy who was running the talent show for some reason shows up and is very impressed.
Yeah, of course he is.
End of that scene. That's all we needed.
That's all. That's
Yeah.
all to know that we're moving on with things, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And because we haven't seen enough breakdancing at this point, that's all we've
Hmm.
seen in this movie. There's a breakdance building that starts in the subway,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
breakdance
yeah.
competition or
Because
fight.
this was when they get arrested.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lee gets arrested.
Hmm.
And
Even though it's just dancing.
it's just,
But the
yeah.
cops brought them in, and this is what, like we said, mom bails him out, and
Mm-hmm.
the cop is like, "You better watch this one because he's got a fresh mouth, and that's not going to work for him."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the mom's like, "Well, he could be doing a lot worse things, and dancing is not illegal. Like, you should not have arrested him to begin with. What did he do
Right.
wrong? Nothing.
Yeah.
So I will take my son, and you
Mm-hmm.
shut up." I appreciated that. Like we said,
Yeah.
she's a little, So which way you going, mom? Is it cool for them to do this or it's not?
Yeah. No,
But in the
you,
end of the day, she's
yeah.
just an overprotective
Right.
mama.
Yeah. You got to tell this cop off.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, was this why you were so worried about your son dancing? Because it could have been misconstrued as fighting?
And we thought that this was the trouble, right? Was that the one kid getting arrested was going to be
I,
the trouble.
yeah.
But
Right.
there's more trouble to
I
come.
keep thinking that whatever we're watching, whatever dumb shit that means nothing, is the main point of this. And we get another thing
It
here
unfolds
that,
into another one, right?
yeah, that might be trouble, but isn't really because Rae Dawn takes Kenny to the fancy
Oh, that's right.
university computer
Well,
score generator.
she tells him how, like, these computers can just kind of almost like an AI, but for the 80s, right? Like
Hey,
you'll
we're
see.
living in the digital age, you
Yeah, you
know?
put in this information and it's going to spit out your tunes and you're going to love it and she's got all these connections at school. So she's like,
Oh,
"Yeah, I can tell you can meet the guy that's in charge of the thing and I could show you the thing."
yeah.
And he's stoked about it at first, and
Hmm.
then something switches. He's like moody man.
He
Like
sees them hug. He sees her hug him.
I thought it was because he broke the computer.
No,
Oh.
no. I think he breaks the computer because he's jealous.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And the computer, this thing looks like shit. Like it's
Yeah.
so funny because the guy's showing him how to use it and he's like, and you play your song in the keyboard, boop, 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 boop. And then he's like, and then you hit this button on the computer and it makes all the notes for you and it
And there
prints
you
out the
go.
sheet music.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
he's like, and I'll bet you'll have this doing things that we didn't even think of. And this dumb mope sees the two of them hug because they're working on an arrangement or whatever.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
he's I guess her professor, again, don't know. I
I don't
assume
know.
she's a student.
Yeah.
And he's like, me, I'm gonna leave here now. And yeah,
Yeah,
we're
he says, "I
from,
don't like your
yeah.
stupid school and your high-tech stuff."
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was because, so I didn't realize it was the jealousy hug thing. I thought he was trying to figure out the computer and then he busted the computer and he was like embarrassed. So he was like, "Fuck that. I'm leaving. I don't need your stupid computers. I'll write my stuff and
That would make
keep my
so
tracks."
much more sense.
No, the jealousy thing tracks as well. So,
Yes. Well, the jealousy thing is hilarious because he breaks this computer and the guy walks in and is like, well, I could just reboot it for you. It's
yeah,
not a big
yeah.
deal.
He's
It's
like,
like,
"It's
no,
not a big
I
deal."
got places to go. He even gets in this guy's face and he's like, I don't need any help from you or your computer. My work is just fine the way it is. And
He's
then he
angry.
storms off.
Yeah. And it's another rift between he's like, "I don't need your fancy stuff. I do my stuff my own way." And Ray
Yep.
Don's just like, "What? I thought it was a nice. I thought
Yep.
it was good."
Yeah. No. And he's like, we're too different. Didn't you hear that song that played while we were out
Yeah.
on our romantic
Yeah.
walk?
It's all about not seeing eye to eye. We don't.
Hmm. Yeah. And now he's in a huff, but and he's having a hard time because his good friend Ramo has put his dreams aside to get an actual job.
Oh yeah.
And they argue about this for a little while. And then Ramo's like, but after work tonight, you want to go spray
To
paint
that
that
white
white
train
train? And
where
he's
I
like,
know
all
where the white
right.
train is. I followed the white train, and so off they go. That's
Yeah.
what That's what you
And
do.
it cuts between the two of them spray painting this train and whatever the hell this Rae Dawn Chong show is. I
Oh
have
yeah.
no idea what I'm
Yeah,
watching.
this is a weird. So she's got some stage show that it looks like again. She's not the choreographer, she's the conductor for
She's
this.
she's doing the conducting
She's
thing, but
doing the
we're not
conducting
watching
thing.
anyone play music. We're watching the dancers and her
Mostly the
wave her
dancers.
arms.
Yes. And so she's got a show, like you said, is it her like senior project? I don't know.
No idea.
And in the
Does she
meantime, they're
work there?
painting.
Like,
I don't
is she
know.
a teacher?
I don't know.
No idea.
Not enough information given. And but in the meantime, like you said, it's between that show
Yeah.
and then them painting the train together.
Mm-hmm.
And then they are satisfied. No, he's not. The Rambo. I keep wanting to call him Rambo.
You can call him
Ramo.
Rambo.
Ramo is like, come on.
He's
And
a
they
little
did.
more
They do
clumsy
the
than Rambo
whole
would be.
yeah, true. They do the whole like a whole car of the train. It's like this
Uh-huh.
wonderful artwork that they
Yeah.
create. And Ramo's like, all right, now we do the other side. And Kenny's like, what? And they go on the
Yes.
other side, but then Ramo catches
Yeah. I like it when he's like, "Do you
spit.
hear something?" And they
Yeah.
hear other spray painting.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they catch spit. And then a chase down the tracks ensues.
Yep.
And a bit of a like kind of wrestling battle.
Here's what I thought real quick was going to happen, and this was going to be like Ramo, like I don't know, the end of his story. I did not expect it ending the way it did.
Mm-mm.
They're running and Kenny's behind him, and at one point Kenny trips and falls.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was going to be Ramo has to stand there and look at the guy he's chasing and look at
Yeah.
his poor friend that was hurt, and he
And
would choose to
decide.
help his friend,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be it. But no, he doesn't help his friend. He chases down Spit, and they roll around on the ground and
Mm-hmm.
then are eventually both electrocuted to death.
But how? Was there something in one of their hands, the spray can or something that
No,
was
I
like,
no, I think the subway thing, the idea of the third rail is
oh,
electrified.
got it, got
You
it.
can't touch that, and they
Mm-hmm.
just roll around like a couple of ragdoll idiots.
Yeah.
And yeah, they
And
both
then the
get
next thing we
totally
know, there's a
zapped.
funeral scene.
It is. I could not. I was like, what are we doing? I was like, I watched a dance battle multiple times in this movie, and now I have to watch a funeral
Yeah.
happen.
And like you said, we see one shot of his sad dad.
It's crazy.
And then I love it because obviously now he's got a baby and a grieving wife, girlfriend,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call her. And we get I don't mean to rush ahead, but we do have a final number
Oh, yeah,
that we
sure.
get
Right.
to.
Yeah.
And I do love how his girlfriend is kind of featured. Like they kind of take her in and then they hug her and like
Yep.
part of
Yeah,
the
like
final
this is really hard on you. There is a real quick scene before that of them moving her out of that building.
so sad and she's so disappointed. It was so short. It was like maybe two
Yeah.
nights that she was
And
there.
and me, I'm sitting there going, can't she can't you let her stay? Like,
Yeah, why
can't
is
she
she
stay
getting
there?
kicked out?
Like,
She didn't
I
like
mean, I
living with her
guess
mom.
she wants to go back with her mom. Maybe it's more stable and secure, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you made that place for her. And I think, I don't, maybe the constant reminders of the spray
I think
painted
that's what
walls
it
of
is.
him.
It's a little sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's,
She's very
yeah,
cute. She'll be able to find somebody, even
she'll
if
be
she has a
able.
kid. She'll be fine.
Yeah. She'll be okay.
But so the businessy friend, because now there's
Hmm.
only two of them left.
Hmm.
He's Kenny goes, I got an idea because he's given his
Oh,
big
right.
shot to be he won. Oh my
Oh, wait,
God, I don't
it
even
is
know
the
what the fuck
holidays
is
because
going on.
they're doing he's gonna be at the Roxy for a New Year celebration.
Right,
Hmm.
yes. So was that what they were trying out for?
Oh,
Does this have anything to do
maybe
with
that's how
that?
theirs are connected.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes, I got some big ideas. And suddenly it cuts to them and his friend going, what? A gospel choir
Yeah.
and this dance team and that dance team? I don't think any of this is going to fit. Also, why is it a funeral? Like, this is just going to be sad. And Kenny's like, it's what we got to do. It's what we
And
got
then
to
all of
do
a
for
sudden, that's all
Ramo.
he needed to say because he's like, "You're right. Everyone will do it." And Ray Dawn's like, "They will do it." And then
Right. And
it's
Rae
just
Dawn's
like,
there. And I'm like, he skipped your show
"Oh,
to
he does
spray
say
paint a
sorry about
train,
your show,"
right?
and she's like, "I'm so sorry."
Yeah. Oh, my show doesn't matter. I'm sorry about your friend. Like he ditched down your show to spray paint a train with his buddy.
I mean, it's
And he
art.
was also jealous of you and your much older teacher. This whole thing is like, don't, just wish him luck. You don't need to go.
Mm-mm,
Radon, sit this
mm-mm.
one out. But
Sit
she
it out.
goes, and so does everyone else in the Bronx.
It's quite the event. It's quite
And
the
I,
event at the
and I
Roxy.
could only imagine that throughout this event, there are many people going, who is this guy that they keep showing pictures of? Like, What happened? It's their tiny friend group. And
Yeah.
the place is littered with like a PowerPoint slideshow of pictures
Mm-hmm.
of Ramo
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
all
like a
this.
memorial to Ramo.
It
Yep.
100% is. And I can only imagine 90% of the people there are like, I thought we were here to watch like a Christmas
But
show.
it's like I don't know, but we didn't get to experience that. Like, were they that well known in the neighborhood, all of them? Because then the amount of performance that do come out,
Oh,
there's people, there's dancers in the zebra outfits. There is a choir that sings.
yep.
There are multiple dance arrangements or acts or what have you
Yeah.
that last a very long time, fold into one another, fold into one another. You just keep seeing the audience and the performers grow. And like I said, at
Hmm.
one point they pull Ramo's girlfriend up on the stage
Yep.
and they're all just kind of boogieing and dancing and
Rae Dawn got dressed up. She's wearing overalls.
yep, yep, yep.
And I have we talk about movies that we see and how tough some of them are to get through. Jamie, I don't know that I've ever paused a movie so much and groaned at how much time was
Oh, I did
left.
that here. Yeah. Yeah.
During this scene, I paused it and there was 15 minutes
Yeah.
left.
And you're like, what is going to happen?
I,
More dancing. It's just
no, we're
dancing.
just watching this. And thankfully, I can't tell you how happy I was. There's 6 minutes of credits at the end of this. I was
Yeah.
so thrilled when the credits started and I paused and I was like, oh, thank God. I thought I was
That's
just going
all
to watch
credits.
this.
No, no, no. No, it just ends then. And again, it's a New Year's party, but we don't have to see any kind of New
Yeah.
Year's celebration or kisses or smooches. We're just going to see
No.
dancing and we're going to fade into, I don't even think we fade. I think then we just go
Well,
to,
we go to still shots of the entire
mm-hmm,
cast. They go
mm-hmm.
through everyone, even the
Yeah.
performers, all the
Yep.
performers we shots, still shots of them with their names there, which is fine. That's actually kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed for all of that. Um, but yeah, like an hour 45 for this
Way
movie that
too
should
long.
have been 82 minutes.
Yeah, way too long. And that's part of I think that's again, we talked about how there was no real plot, what's going
Yeah,
on, but you could have been entertained enough by some of the dancing and the
sure.
talent and the fun and you don't necessarily need a plot in movies like these. That's too heavy, right?
Right.
But there's a length that you need to keep to because if you're gonna give me something like
Hmm.
this, you got to just even some of the dance stuff. Like,
Yeah.
don't give me seven guys dancing, each of them twice. Give me five guys dancing and show me the best ones, and then you
Yeah.
could montage the rest.
Yeah.
And
You
I
don't
couldn't follow everybody's stories and
know.
the extra drama of not just the baby mama, that was fine, but then also the dying, the electrocution, and then
Yep.
the
I'm fine with the baby mama.
yeah.
That's great, but can
Mhm.
you let them, of all the characters, can you let them have a happy ending?
I know.
Like and like have a silly plot. Remember in Rappin', the whole plot was like they
Wasn't it
wanted
saving
to
his neighborhood or something?
yeah,
The
they wanted
neighborhood
to just
building?
like
Yeah.
kick everybody out of the neighborhood so they like turned off their heat and everything, and then they
Hmm.
stole gas and just like that's fine. Just like
Yeah.
I said, renovate a new building, renovate an old dilapidated building, turn it into your own club at the end.
Hmm.
Great. I love it. This is just like it's nothing. And then at the
Yeah.
end, it's like, you know what? How about what if this was sad for a little while? It's like, no, no, not at all. You didn't earn
I
that at
don't agree
all.
to any of this. I don't agree to any of this. Mm-mm. No.
No, I did
No.
not like this movie. This was really tough. This
Yeah, it
was a
was.
really
I
bad one.
agree. I agree. And I was like you, we had both said it before. I was kind of looking forward to it. I was like, oh, this will be one of those fun,
Yeah.
you know, breakdancing movies. And no, I don't even have a real recommendation because sometimes when we watch these movies that I don't like, I just get put in this like, oh, why do we even do this now? I don't get that depressed. But I did think about two things. I would like to study a little bit, not really, but curious about the background of break dancing.
Okay.
And
I
then
guarantee you there's at least 8 documentaries you
yeah,
can
I'm sure I
watch.
could find the research. And then also a recommendation if I had to say, like I did enjoy watching some of the dancing and some of the like it's cool to see things that I don't normally partake in, but can
Hmm.
appreciate. And so I thought, and this is a little out there, but not really. Like, I don't the Lady Gaga and who's that other one? Pink and a couple of these other performers that are like that do this. Even Beyonce
Sure.
that do these like performative concerts. That's not what I go to or listen
Mm-hmm.
to, but I would like to watch. Maybe I'm sure it's on YouTube. One of their like because I've heard they do wonderful. It's like a show. It's like a thing. It's not just like a
Yeah.
band playing their instruments, which is groovy in and of itself. But yeah, I'd like to watch a Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
For
I couldn't
YouTube.
imagine you being like, I got 2 tickets to Madonna and going. But yeah, to sit and to watch it on TV, it would be entertaining. And also the good thing is you didn't spend money and you can turn it off whenever
I
you
could
want.
stop it when I want to, and I'm not in it. Yeah. So that's more like a recommendation to myself, but to
Hmm.
others, well, if they want it. How about
Well,
you?
that's
Do you
great.
have a
I do
dance
have a
movie?
recommendation. It's a
Good.
movie I watched last night after I watched this.
Interesting. Like a
From
palate cleanser.
Yeah, a little bit from 2022. It's a movie called, oh boy, I don't know how to pronounce this. Salome, Saloum.
Solemn?
Solemn? You're probably right. Yeah, you're
I
probably
don't
right.
know.
It follows a group of there's these three African mercenaries, like guys that
Oh.
are just in to kill people, and they're trying to escape, and they come across a village, where two of the guys think they're there just to get like fuel or whatever. The one guy has a purpose for being there. He is there to kill a man who sexually abused him as a child.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
So
once
we're like,
I know, yeah,
yikes.
and once he does this, that guy was keeping certain bad things at bay in this
Ooh.
village.
Yeah, yeah.
It was actually really good. And I was like,
Okay.
I don't know. It was one that came across like every now and then, and these movies that we watch are fucking with the algorithm on all my
Oh,
streaming
yeah,
services.
totally.
Like it
Yeah.
never knows what to recommend, but every now and then Amazon gets it right, and they did this time.
Yeah, they
So
did.
I
Look at that.
appreciate it. Yeah. Um, yeah. So that's it. There, the
Okay,
end.
there you go.
Done.
The end.
Okay. Um, our next episode. Oh, also, Jamie, I kind of lied. I thought this episode came out on Juneteenth. No, it comes out the day afterwards. So,
That's okay. It's a
happy
Friday, so
belated Juneteenth,
right.
everyone.
In honor of it. Good.
Yeah. And our next episode comes out on the 4th of July.
Oh, 4th of
Mhm.
July.
And here's what I will say. Looking at like military movies and stuff, a lot of that doesn't really
Resonate.
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what we do here. There's a lot of sad military movies. And that's the other thing for like, sometimes for like Black History Month and things like that, I'm looking and I'm always like, well, we could do Glory, but that sounds too sad. Or we could do The Color Purple, but I'm like, all these things deal with race in a way that I'm not comfortable doing on the podcast for us. Um, but Jamie, here's what we're going to talk about. Because this podcast of ours has had a criminal, I believe, lack of Bill Murray for being a
Oh,
show about the
sure.
80s. So we're going to watch Stripes.
Oh, nice.
4th of July, we got some John Candy. We have
Beautiful.
some
Early
who's the other
80s comedy.
Ghostbuster? Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, and
He's
Aykroyd's not in it,
dead.
right? No,
No.
the other one.
The other Ghostbuster. But yes, that's what we'll be doing for our next episode in 2 weeks. Thank you everybody for listening, for
Yes.
telling people about the show, for swiping family members' phones and downloading our podcast on
Oh,
there.
look at that.
You
Swiping a
know,
phone.
you should all rate and review the show, do all
Do
that great
that.
stuff.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Until then, have a great 2 weeks, everybody.
Goodbye.
Nice.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good day.
Goodbye. Good day to you.
Oh, speaking of good day, Jamie.
Oh, bidet. What? Go ahead.
Nope, good day. Not a bidet.
Not a bidet. Okay.
I was thinking, how we do a theme month in December?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How about a down in December?
Down into like an Australian
Down
movies?
under December. Yes.
So all Australian movies?
Yeah.
It's a stretch, but I'm there
Because
for
I
it.
would listen, I'll do a what was Young Einstein, right?
What's the one?
Yahoo
Not
series.
Without My Baby. Is that an
Oh,
Australian
wait a second. Do we want to watch
80s?
do we want to watch a movie about a baby who was
Baby ate my
eaten by
dingo.
animals?
Yeah, I think
Hold
so.
on. Maybe
That dingo, maybe the baby, maybe the dingo ate your baby.
that's gotta be. I hope it's 80s. I
I
hope
think
it's
it
not
is.
like late
No, I think
70s.
it's Meryl Streep, right? Wasn't it?
It is, but she was around in the 70s.
Yeah, but
Dingo ate my baby. Boy, it was like the first thing that came up when I typed in
it knows.
dingo.
It knows what it.
The disappearance was in 1980.
Oh,
What's the
then
movie called?
uh,
I keep wanting to say Out of Africa, but that's not right.
we
But I
gotta
think
get
that
this
was Meryl Streep too.
uh,
Dingo ate my baby movie.
movie Dingo.
Evil Angels? What? Is that
No, that's not what it's
that
called.
can't be, but it does say Meryl Streep.
Was it called Evil
A Cry
Angels?
in the Dark?
That's it. It
A
was a cry in
Cry
the
in the
dark.
Dark. Oh, dude, we'll watch that.
Is it? Let's
Yeah,
get down under
Australian Outback.
December.
Yeah.
Bringing the dingo in for December. I
Oh,
dig
okay.
it.
All right, I'll watch that. I don't want to watch
Okay.
Crocodile Dundee. I'll watch that.
Bring it. Why? We got two. Don't we do two
We
for
do too.
December?
Yeah, we could do too.
So
Yeah.
do a Dundee and a dingo. There you go.
Whew, Dundee and a dingo.
Okay. December. That's our December. Looking forward to it.
Wow.
All
All
right.
right.
All
Very
right.
cool.
Excellent.
I'm gonna
Um,
export this.
yeah, mine's bouncing as we speak, and I'll get
What's
it
this
to
movie
you.
called? I want to say Rappin'.
Breaking. Oh no, Beat Street. Beat Street. Everything is all right on Beat
Awesome.
Street. Yeah, yeah.